Previously, in parts 1 and 2 of this adventure, I set off from Taynuilt to circumnavigate the Island of Skye, but some unforeseen circumstances delayed the journey and kept me camped in Loch na Beauty before I finally arrived at Skye. I explored Loch Skye before circumnavigating the small island of Skye, then camped overnight in the Sleep Peninsula. I no longer had enough fuel to get around Skye and had no access to money to buy more. The forecast suggested heavy rain and fresher winds were arriving in 48 hours, so I decided to explore the Arisaig coastline and then head back round Ardnamurchan Peninsula while I still could. Surprisingly, I slept like a log despite my airbed leaking during the night, then woke to a beautiful sunny and calm sea day. I had breakfast, dismantled camp and packed everything into the boat before heading off. A careful reverse U-turn got the boat turned and out the sheltered bay I had left the boat in overnight. I love the way the Yamaha 4-stroke ticks over very slowly and very reliably, without stalling. The old Mariner 2-stroke certainly couldn't do that. And soon I was happily boating in the open sea again. The islands of Egg, and then Rum, and finally Skye, shimmered blue in the horizon. I set course on a compass bearing for the northern channel of Loch na Skye at Arisaig, which is 8 miles away. I did have a little detour to have a good gawk at the Blue Clipper, a fantastic sight to see at sail in the open sea. Built in Sweden in 1991, she was on a training cruise going from Malig to Portugal. The different shades of blue hills of Scotland's mainland also look fantastic on this beautiful day. And it didn't take long to reach the skerries that protect the northern channel of Loch na Skye. If you are not familiar with the area, I would recommend taking the southern channel to reach Arisaig, as the northern channel is very much narrower, shallower and has more reefs which are not marked. I find the seals much prefer my 4-stroke outboard too. They would have vacated its perches long before now, when I ran through here using the noisy 2-stroke Mariner. Having successfully navigated the northern channel, I now pick up a little speed as I head into Arisaig. I didn't land as I was only in for a nosy around. I had other plans which involved stopping in my own little island for a coffee. I just had to wait a little to let the tide fall back and uncover it. The Arisaig skerries as the tide falls is one of my favourite places on this planet. But I do have to keep an eye on the boat to make sure it doesn't get left high and dry. I made my coffee, and as I slurped I listened to the sounds of the skerries and admired the views. Refreshed and then relieved, I jumped back in the boat to have a little wander around. And shallow drive, of course.
Security, attention all vessels in the Mallock Harbour area. Calmac Penny Cruise. Cruise goes short to be entering Mallock Harbour for the links span down. Kindly ask all vessels to keep clear of the cruise when in the channel and manoeuvring for the bow. Cruise standing by VHF channel 16.
It's a slow pace of life in the skerries, and well worth slowing down for it. Eventually I emerged in the southern channel, which indicated I could speed up again without fear of hitting a sunken reef, and soon I was leaving Loch Seal and heading into the Sound of Arisaig. It was a lovely hot day as I turned into Port Namurach, but didn't land as there was somebody camping there. I was looking forward to a cool swim to clean and soothe the many insect bites I had. I didn't mind as I knew of another lovely little sandy bay a bit further along, which was not so well known. But when I got there, I found that it too had some folk on it. In fact, I soon discovered that every little nook and cranny along the Arisaig coastline had lots of people there. Hardly surprising though, as it was a very hot August bank holiday weekend. So I decided that the best thing that I could do was to pull over into an inaccessible rocky bay and drop anchor for a swim off the boat. Pure pleasure on such a hot and sunny day. Once cooled and feeling much cleaner, I now had to get back into the boat. I use a loop of rope with a piece of galvanised pipe for the rung. It clips onto the tube handles with a carabiner. Many folk on social media will tell you that it doesn't work for them as a leg goes under the boat. What they actually mean is it doesn't work for them because they don't know how to use it. I place my leg around the loop and put my heel into it. It's like climbing a rope ladder. There is a technique, and that way your legs don't go under the boat. If I can haul my mountain of moving blubber into the boat at my age, anyone should be able to do it, assuming they know the technique. Once stride and rest again, I started heading into Loch Nanam to have a nosy around the Borrowdale Islands. That's when I noticed something unusual floating in the water. From a distance it looked like it was a paddle board or overturned kayak with a skeg sticking in the air. Some seagulls were investigating it, so I thought I'd better take a closer look. It turned out to be nothing more than a tree stump covered in barnacles which the birds were enjoying. I left them to finish their snack in peace and headed for the islands off Borrowdale. Then headed across Loch Nanam towards Lochaelot. It was lovely seeing the familiar coastline, as I was at one time a regular visitor, but not been for a couple of years. I'd stopped visiting the area as I had heard it was now very popular with staycationers after the COVID pandemic, and I soon found out how busy it was. This sandy beach is a long walk from the road, and I don't think I have seen as many people on it in the past. There were several groups of paddler boards going round Elan and Gober, which again I'd never seen before. But then again, I have never seen a large pod of common dolphins swimming just off the islands, and I was lucky enough to see them this time. I suspect they were in a feeding frenzy, shoaling fish to the surface, as a lot of seabirds were also diving into the water. Yep, the sound of Arisaig sure was a busy place on this glorious bank holiday weekend, which left me with the problem of trying to find a quiet place to camp overnight, far from the madding crowds. I wondered how busy the little sandy peninsula in front of Smirsbury Hill would be. 10 years ago it was one of my favourite camp spots. It was reasonably well known back then, but never had more than a couple of folk camping there. Needless to say, I didn't stop, as I wanted to let everyone enjoy their wilderness and wild camp experience in their own way. Besides, I thought I still had an ace card hidden up my sleeve, as I knew of a lovely remote sandy bay hidden behind the reefs of Eel and Shona, and I have never seen anyone there before. Well, until this year, that is. For me, the Arisaig area is now a victim of its success. My reason for boating and camping on the remote coastlines of the west coast was to escape people, and I'm glad I enjoyed it over the years, as I suspect everywhere will eventually get as busy as this area. I carefully searched every nook and cranny of the coastline, from Kentra Bay to Ardnamurchan Point, looking for a suitable spot, but found none. I require a sheltered beach in case the wind and waves get up during the night, and I also require a flat piece of ground on which to pitch a tent, which may sound easy enough to find, but in reality it's not always easy. So if you're visiting unfamiliar areas, do make sure you know where you can pitch a tent and leave a boat safely overnight. There was no flat area for a tent in that last bay that I visited, and the waves breaking on this shore during a flat calm put me off this area. I have to let the boat dry out when camping, and if the wind gets up during the night, as the boat starts to refloat, that could trash it. So I decided to return to Loch na Dromna Beauty to put up with the werewolf prowling around the tent during the night. Although there are generally yachts in the bay, I seldom meet other campers here, as I presume they don't tolerate the large stag mooching around the camp the way that I do. I watched another lovely sunset and then fell fast asleep listening to a stag complaining I was camped in his favourite spot. Then I awoke early to another lovely day. I managed to get everything packed away before the midges got up. I could feel a change in the weather as it was now very much cooler, although still calm. The forecast was for heavy rain and thunderstorms arriving in the afternoon, with the winds returning during the evening, so I was keen to get home before it started. As I headed down the Sound of Mull, I confess I was a little disappointed that I didn't manage to circumnavigate the Island of Skye. However, when I got home, I managed to get a new PIN number to access the bank account, and a week later another calm spell of weather arrived. This time I did circumnavigate Skye, and what an experience it was. So I hope you will return and watch parts 4 of this video series to see the wonders of Skye and the Summer Isles. I hope you've enjoyed the videos so far, and thanks for watching.